Hey crafters, and thanks for joining me today. I'm going to show you how I make my boot book, and I am going to use my Your Story to bind it all together. I'm just going to make a coloring book. This would be perfect for an autograph book, and you can do this with any shape, but I was inspired because my daughter just did a cowboy dance not too long ago, and so I thought this would be fun for her to use as a coloring book. So I started off with Just Because cards. There's a boot, and I have the shadow of the boot, and my boot is 6.06, and right now is on the y-axis at 5.09, and all I've done was I've gone to my advanced tab, I copied, and I actually flipped it to go the opposite way. And I also grabbed this particular rectangle from George Cartridge. So let me show you what I've done, okay? So I'm going to move this up and stick it right in the center of both boots. And I'm going to hit it maybe 2 times just to make sure that it's connected. I'm going to make sure that it's welded by clicking on this weld button. And then as you can see that it's highlighted, but I'm going to go back and make sure that it is connected the way I want it to be connected. Okay, and that rectangle is cut at 1 inch. So my second boot is cut at the same size, and you want to make sure that it is on the y-axis at the same exact point, and this is how you do it. You click on the y-axis and you click the button and it will take you there. And so I know that it was at 5.09, so I'm going to click OK, and it is exactly as where the other boot is, but just flipped. So I'm going to highlight the boot, and I'm going to use my arrows to move it over, and I'm going to go back to my advanced tab and click the weld button, and when I click off of it, everything is welded. Now I'm just going to check with the view to make sure that my boot is exactly where I want it. So it is. So my second layer, I cut out, I make sure that I use my paper as much as I can, maximize my paper, and I cut out boots that are in white paper at 6 inches. And then on my last layer, if I could get there, on my last layer, I cut out a boot to match the top boot at 6.06, and then make sure that these were cut at 6.06 as well. And so now I'm going to show you how to put it all together. I have all of my pieces cut out from the Cricut, and I am going to use some Versamark just to ink up the entire boot to create a faux leather finish. So just make sure that you get all of it and don't leave a spot behind. And I will use clear embossing powder to make it shiny. Okay, so I think I got all of it. I'm just using clear embossing powder. I'm just going to sprinkle all over the boot. And if you haven't used embossing powder, you can always sprinkle all of it out and put it all back in. So I'm going to put this on the side and bring this paper back in. Okay, so now I'm going to use my bone folder to create some waves as though it is the finish of the boot. So the key here is to make sure you get rid of all these little tiny embossing powder pulls once you've finished. And I think I'm just going to bring in my other tool since it's bigger. And I think I kind of want it to have some more details. So you can create this however you want to, because leather is very different. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to heat emboss it. Just finished the boot. Now I'm going to add some gold embossing powder to some of the embellishments for the boot. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to ink the entire embellishment with Versamark. Maybe easier to get that one like that. And now I'm going to heat and emboss this with gold embossing powder. I got all my embellishments finished and completed. Now I'm going to bring in the card or the book that I'm going to make. And I brought in my score board. And basically all you're doing is looking for a straight line. And make sure that the top of the boot is lined up with the ridge. And then make sure you get a straight line. Okay. So there's one, and then make sure you do 2 straight lines. Okay. And there is the basis of my book. Why I'm doing this, you want to make sure you have your hot glue gun getting steamy and hot. And all I'm going to do is add strips of hot glue down the center without getting it everywhere. Okay, so you're going to let this dry, and then when it's dry, I'm going to show you how to put it all together. The glue inside my book is dry, so now I'm going to take the white paper that I cut out in the shape of a boot and fill it in and see if it all fits. And sometimes you just have to move it around because it does fit. And then once you put it inside of your story, okay, my your story has been preheating, and so I just want to make sure that I got them all straight in there. So I'm slide that inside, and I'm going to hit bind. And then once it's done, I will put the rest of my book together. My book is bound and everything is inside. And last thing I need to do is just add the cover to my book, which will probably be not so bad to do. The trickiest part about making your book is just making sure that you have everything lined up. I'm going to use the word howdy. I can't remember what stamp set it's from, but it's from Stampin' Up! And some espresso. And I'm just going to stamp it on this paper called Brush Gold. Beautiful. So I'm just going to use it. I just have a scrap piece of paper. And I hope that my punch, there's a punch that goes along with it. So I'm going to slide it in there. Punch it out. And I'm just going to add howdy to the top. And there you have it. Have a wonderful day.